Hey. Okay, so this time it was actually Nintendo of Japan dropping the tweets, okay? But at around like 2:35 this morning, they dropped Note 3, or Volume 3 to the Xenoblade Note. So y'all already know I gotta go over that. But I skimmed through it before I went to sleep, and a lot of this we already know, or at least near like the end of it is just a bunch of tweets that we've already gotten. But there is one thing in here that a lot of y'all might not be so happy about, but there is new information in here, so let's actually get started. This is Volume 3 to the Xenoblade Note. Look at this image, it just looks so good. Oh, look at Mio. I love Mio so much, I love Mio. Xenoblade Notes introducing Xenoblade 3 to be released on July 29th. The theme of this year's third installment is How to Walk in the Field. In the name, introducing How to Walk in the Field of Xenoblade 3. Tour a vast world. The main character Noah and the others will run through various fields in their adventures. This time we will introduce some of the fields of the vast world, Ionios. And yes, there's going to be a lot of translation errors in here because it's Google Translate, and we already know how garbled that is. Milik Plain, a land rich in nature with rivers flowing in the grasslands. There are protists living by the water's edge, and if you think it is a plant and you are not careful, you are the enemy. Oh my god, beware of giant enemies roaming the plains freely. And then we get some screenshots that we got in the tweets. So yeah, I still think this is a mix between Bionis Leg and Gormat, because first of all, we have literally the Gormat fin right here, and then this little like structure, it also looks like it's from Gormat, and then here looks like an area in Bionis Leg with the little outpost you like meet Juju at and then go to Colony 6. And then not even to mention literally Rotbart right there, who's in both Gormat and Bionis Leg. So I mean, this is like the starting grassland area, the like new plain area, because it's, I mean look, it's even named Milik Plain, so this is like the starting grassland area. Here we get Aegis Wilderness, a desert area with sandstorms. It's a harsh environment for Noah and the others, and there seems to be an oasis somewhere. The fingers of a giant machine are impressive, and there is also a strange scene with a large hole in it. Strange scene with a large hole in it? Do we know what that means? It could be talking about the Hidden Machina village, or what's left of it, but I don't remember anything about a strange scene with a large hole in it. But yeah, you get screenshots of Aegis Wilderness, which is a mix between the Fallen Arm and most likely more Ardain, since it's the only other like deserty area for Xenoblade 2 at least. And then this is my favorite area so far, Conti Falls, or Cote Falls as it was localized or translated. The official translation is Cote Falls, C-O-T-T-E. Cote Falls, a large fall with a huge waterfall. Okay, you can also see the Iron Giant God colony of the colony Lambda, led by Agnes's military chief Isurugi, and decaying buildings. The rainbow seen from the top of the waterfall is a superb view. Okay, so we just got confirmation that this is colony Lambda. Yeah, I figured that had to be a colony, because an Iron Giant for like combat or as a weapon, that kind of seems a little too big. And yeah, you can see like a dome or like a ring Coliseum type shape to it. So yeah, that is Colony Lambda. They're actually a lot smaller than I thought, but it could just be how far away it is up close to it. It's like absolutely fucking mad. But yeah, we get more screenshots of this area. Oh, and yeah, I already made a video on this yesterday, but Moratha, there's like elements of Moratha in Ionios, you can see here, and then even more in Mactha Wildwood. And this is the rainbow in the area above where Colony Lambda is. Colony Lambda is down here below the waterfall. Morcuna Forest, or Mactha Wildwood, a large forest overgrown with huge vegetation. The fruit harvested here is exquisite. Once in a while, it also fun to forget about adventure. Look for ingredients and camp slowly. So yeah, we get to see more like buildings and ruins here of Moratha, and it's so cool to see all this, because Moratha has always fascinated me. Like as an area, it's always fascinated me. Like, whoa, imagine like this once was like an actual city. Now we're just in ruins. And it was like huge too, and you only got to explore such a tiny bit of it. And if you notice, there are like no Napon anywhere. Like for all these areas I already talked about and went over yesterday's video. Go watch that. But yeah, there's no Napon here. And that's kinda weird, considering this seems to be Frontier Village, and you know that's where Napon live at. So what happened to him? When you encounter an enemy, the field is full of protists and strong enemies chasing Noah. Here are some points to keep in mind before you get into battle with enemies. If you remember this, you may be able to advance the battle advantageously. Types of enemies, and we have 4 different types of enemies. There are 4 types of monsters in enemy: normal, elite, lucky, and unique, which can be identified by the marks above. Elite is stronger than normal, so be careful because of powerful unique monsters with 2 names. Okay, this whole time I was confused about like unique monsters with 2 names. Ever since like this tweet was announced, I was confused what that means. But I'm dumb, because 2 names, most monsters have like some type of like title, and immovable Gonzalez, territorial Rotbart, Tyrana Titan Kurodil, Cloudsea King Ken. That's like 4 words, but you get the point. Get the goddamn point. Okay. Lucky monsters have the same strength as normal monsters, but it is easy to get good items when defeated. So it is recommended to actively challenge them. And yet, lucky monsters, the way you can tell a lucky monster from a normal monster is their health bar. It'll start like sparkling and shimmering around the name, and basically around the whole bar. So I mean, you can see a little bit of the sparkles right here, but it's very noticeable. I think in my video about, was it like Nutty Napon and Tactical Tacticians video from like 2 days ago, I go over all of that. Know the enemy and fight one-on-one. Enemies can strike in multiple. Strong enemies such as unique monsters will have an advantage in battle if you lure them one by one and fight them. And then they give us the clip of this bad ass unique monster battle theme. I still think this is the "You will blank our names" type of song, because I mean that plays every time you fight a unique monster. In Xenoblade 1, you will know our names, and in Xenoblade 2, you will recall our names. So this one in 3 could be like, you will remember our names, or you will recognize our names, something like that. But this goes so goddamn hard. Like, oh, it's so good. always forget to unplug it. But yeah, that I can't wait to hear like the actual full song to that. I don't want to spoil that yet. Comfortable field exploration. Skip travel or skip the trip. There are landmarks in every corner of the world, and once you visit landmarks, you can always travel with skip the line travel. Some of the landmarks are called secret places. So let's explore every corner of the wide world, taking advantage of skip travel in search of superb views. And here you get a screenshot of the map. And for whatever reason, this just looks very trippy. This looks super trippy. And it looks like we can actually choose what time of day we want in the skip travel menu instead of its own separate menu. So that's very convenient and helpful. And in here, this I'm guessing is a landmark icon, and this would be like a secret area, secret place landmark. And I still don't know what this is. Maybe that could be a marker, or that could be to indicate a lucky monster, or maybe even a unique monster, and that's like the new tombstone icon. I'm not sure, but here we actually get to see where they are in game with this screenshot. So this just looks beautiful. I think for like like the key visual, remember when Xenoblade 3 was first announced and we saw Noah and Miu standing and just looking at the looking at Araya and the Makana sword. I think they were standing up here because it's like a little grassy area facing Araya and then Makana sword up here. So I think they were standing like up here. I don't know. I'm gonna try to like recreate it once the game comes out. They were field skills. This is the part I'm sure many of you are worried about. There are places you can't go without walking a tightrope or climbing up a wall. These special actions, field skills, are increased by being taught by people you meet during your adventures. As you progress through your adventures and meet many people, you will. Okay, my bad. I got a call like right in the middle of recording, but there are places you can't go without walking a tightrope or climbing up a wall. These special actions, field skills, are increased by being taught by people you meet during your adventures. As you progress through your adventure you might and meet many people, you'll be able to explore a wider world. So it's kind of like Xenoblade X more than 2. A lot of people have hated Xenoblade 2's field skills, and me, I loved them. I didn't care. It didn't take away from the experience. Like for me, as long as a game is enjoyable, I'll love almost everything about it. I'm really not picky in like any way at all when it comes to games. Just as long as the game's fun and enjoyable to play, I don't care, how it's received by other people or what's in the game. I'll love it either way. But here it seems, because in Xenoblade X, field skills, basically you just have basically installing probes is like the best way to describe it. Installing probes and getting treasure troves, you need a certain level in one of the 4 different types of field skills. There was I think there's 3: mechanical, biological, and archaeological. And every time you'd increase your blade level, you would be able to talk to Eleonora. I think her name is Eleonora, and you'd be able to level up one of those 3 field skills. And it's kind of like pacing, or not really pacing, but like it's a way to like keep you on track and not exploring too far. It's kind of keeping you on a linear path and kind of like progressing the story slowly and how they want you to progress it. So from this you probably won't be able to explore the entire world like off rip like you can in Xenoblade X, but it's more like 1 and 2 where it's like sectioned off. Even though it seems to be an actual open world, you can't really explore it like an open world until like late game, until you have all of the required or all of the field skills and all of them leveled up. So it's not going to be as bad as Xenoblade 2's, if that's what many of y'all were thinking, but I don't mind. Either way, I still like it. If it was like this, like X or like 2, I wouldn't mind. I don't think field skills are that bad. But when did my opinion on that matter? And then I didn't even speak about this. Yeah, we get screenshots of Mio here walking on a tightrope, and this seems to be like the border between like the Aegis Plains or like the Aegis Wilderness and Milik Plains, or this could actually be Kote. I don't think this is Kote Falls. I think this is Milik Plains, and this is like the border between them. And so she's going from like Milik Plains, walking along to over to Aegis Plains. Goddamn, this actually over here look like Bionis, like the Bionis head. I don't know what the hell that is, but that looks like Bionis head. And then this looks like a Gormot fin. I'm trying to figure what these trees are, because these kind of look like that Leftherian area that we saw in the first trailer. But now that I look at it more, it looks less like that. I don't know, I'll put a screenshot up of the area I'm talking about, and y'all can decide if it looks similar enough or not. But this purple vines, I really like that color. So when we were talking about the Kote Falls and we saw like that building with like the purple stream running up the side, those are vines. I was confused about that in yesterday's video, but those are vines that we'll be able to climb up once we unlock the required field skill or the corresponding field skill. So it looks like maybe climbing, tight roping, I guess they would call it, climbing, or sidling would have field skills. Another field skill might, I don't want to say swimming because that sounds really dumb. Like, why would you need a field skill to swim? But climbing, tightrope walking, I mean, that's really all I can think of right now. But I don't think field skills will be as bad as people think they will, or as bad as Xenoblade 2's. I didn't mind Xenoblade 2's, but generally, like overall, the community just did not like 2's field skills. Oh shit, and that's actually the end. That's it for the third installment of Xenoblade Note. If you're logged in with your Nintendo account, you can pre-order the downloaded version of the software directly from the link below. Okay, yeah, okay. See, we already know about that, but what we really want is the pre-orders for the special edition, okay? When are they gonna drop that? And I'm kind of scared and don't want the pre-order to drop, because you already know that shit is going to get scalped immediately. Sold out and sold for like $400 everywhere. So I'm really scared that the Xenoblade 3 special edition is going to get scalped as soon as it's available. So I'm really hoping that's not the case, and Xenoblade, in like the grand scheme of like JRPGs and games, is still like a niche, franchise. So hopefully not. Hopefully, you know, like the PS5 the PS5 like, fuck, what am I trying to say? The PS5, the whole PS5 situation, hopefully that doesn't happen, where it's like immediately sold out everywhere and you can never find one anywhere except for scalpers who are selling it like $300-400 over retail price. I really hope this doesn't get scalped. But yeah, that's really about it for Xenoblade Note Volume 3. If we get any more information, you already know, this will be like the first place to check my channel. for that. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. I might be going out of town next week for like all next week, Monday through Friday. So I might just have a bunch of like scheduled uploads of like continuing the Xenosaga playthrough or some other maybe finish the Bringer of Chaos runs. I don't know. I'll figure it out, and I'll let y'all know in like tomorrow's video, maybe. Yeah, that's really about it. So, as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Be safe. Be well. And play some goddamn Xenoblade.